Hello, good morning. I hope everybody can hear me. We start today again with a global PropTech Online event, and we're going to talk about ESGs all day long, solutions from all over the world. And we're going to start with Johan Perez. I think you are from France, or not, Johan?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Yes.
Oh, I don't hear you.
From Paris, France.
Why am I not hearing you? I think it's on my side. Now I probably do hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, that was on my side. Sorry, I was just on the wrong settings, your audio settings. So you're from France or not?
Yeah, we're based in Paris, France. Yes, created
Cool.
in Dublin in Ireland, but I'm in Paris as I speak right now.
Cool, very cool. Well, we will give you the stage. If every one of you has a question, please put them in the chat so we can ask those questions after the presentation of Johan to Johan. And of course, we will record all these videos and bring them back on our Global PropTech YouTube channel. So please follow that as well. And yeah, we're gonna put these videos also on our social media after this event. But hopefully you will enjoy this whole day of solutions in ESG. Johan, can I give you the floor?
Yes, yes, with pleasure. Thank you very much. So I'll try to share my presentation.
Yes, you can.
Can you see the screen okay?
Let me see if I can see that. I don't see it yet. But maybe that is because... No, I don't see it yet. Yes, now I can see it. Yes, yes, very good.
Okay, perfect. So good morning, everyone. So as you see, my name is Johan Perez, and I represent the company called Robeau. So Robeau was first created in Ireland, but today most of our employees are in France. And today I'm speaking to you from Paris. And what I wanted to speak to you today about was water consumption and how it can be managed more efficiently. We've seen that lowering energy consumption and reducing water intake is a big part of ESG. But unfortunately, water consumption is often overlooked as more businesses tend to focus today on electricity and gas, which is quite normal because it's more expensive. But what we tend to forget is that on top of being a very rare resource, it also takes energy to produce water. For example, in France, it takes 0.5 kilogram of CO2 to produce 1 cubic meter of fresh water, and about 12 kilograms of CO2 to produce hot water. So something to bear in mind. And today also we see that we lack electricity and gas in some parts of the world, even here in France as well. Some of it is due to overconsumption, some of it is due to the war in Ukraine. But if tomorrow we run out of water, the consequences will be much more dramatic. And even today, we've seen this summer again in France, how crops were affected because of the heat waves. And even some parts of France had water restrictions in place because of the lack of water. But even so, there are barely any laws in terms of how much water you can consume today. So at Robeau, we really work to make water an integral part of the ESG strategy. And for that, I'll quickly go over our solution after, but we help our clients. We specialized in connected water meters to track water consumption and detect leaks. And today we help our clients in 2 ways. First, by mapping the water network and identifying the strategic areas to be equipped with our solution. And then, and second, we help our customers understand their water consumption at the different ways they can do to help reduce it. So before we jump in a more detailed presentation of our solution, I quickly want to show you one picture. I hope you can all see it. So this is a picture that represents 4 different spheres. So it's a three-dimensional image showing volume. So the bigger sphere, the Earth, is our Earth the way we know it in terms of volume. So we're used to see it like that. The other three blue bubbles, that's the water volume on our planet. We're used to see it across the oceans. We think there's so much water, more than 70% of the globe is covered by water. But when you actually put it on a volume scale, then you can see that we don't have that much water after all. Though, for example, the largest sphere represents all of Earth's water. So this is going to include the oceans, the ice caps, the lakes, the rivers, groundwater, and even the atmospheric water. So all the water above and all the water inside of us, inside of me, inside of you, all of the animals, all of the plants. Really all of the water above, in, and below ground. The second largest one, the blue sphere over Kentucky in the US, that one represents the world's liquid fresh water. So lakes and rivers, but most of it, 99%, is actually groundwater. So that's all the fresh water besides the salt water in the ocean. And finally, the tiny, tiny blue bubble that we can barely see over Atlanta in the state of Georgia, that one represents, in terms of volume, all the fresh water available in lakes and rivers on the planet. So most of the water today that people use and life on Earth, animals, plants, come from these surface water resources. And here we can see that it's really not that much of it. And it's our role today, even if we can get our water from groundwaters as well, it's really our role to make sure that we preserve this resource. So at Robeau, it was pretty simple. It was created back in 2016 after realizing that water was being consumed without a real indicator. And after 2 years of research and development, we launched our first prototype in 2018 in Ireland. But now again, most of our force are in Paris. So since we've launched back then, we have carried several projects both in France and around the world. And we've recently opened offices here in Paris for about a year, but also in other parts of the world, such as Dakar in Senegal and in Dubai, to get closer to these markets as well. Because each part of the world has a different relationship to water. Sometimes it's more expensive than in other parts. Sometimes it's more available or less available in other parts. So we really try to help every country, not just France. And in 2023, looking forward, we will continue our expansion and probably open offices in North America, in the United States, to get closer to that market as well. Today, it's more than 500 sites equipped with our solution. So again, we specialize in connected water meters to track water consumption in real time across your building or even across cities. That represents about 10,000 connected water meters. And since 2018, after our first installation, and many clients since then, we've noticed that after the first year, we help our clients save between 20 and 50% of water by using our solution. So today we intervene anywhere where there is an important water consumption, with the goal of bringing intelligence into cities, buildings, industries, and even agriculture. And using our technology is a great way to comply with new regulations, even though we believe at Robeau that there's not enough regulations, at least in France, put in place. It helps you, of course, track consumption at every of your location, and it does reinforce ESG commitments, and that's the topic that we're talking about today. And of course, it improves profitability by saving water and reducing risk due to leaks, but that's not the main goal of the ESG commitments. So in terms of our solution, so today it's hard to talk to you guys and ask you questions. But if I could, I would ask how many of you have a monitoring solution in place today. I've been in Robeau for more than a year, and I've noticed that once the water enters the building, we barely have any visibility on where it is going. So our role at Robeau is really to track that water consumption from the moment it enters the building to the moment it is sent back to the water network. So every time, any moment the water is in your possession, the role at Robeau is going to be to track that consumption, to see the trends, see if there's any leakage, and try to reduce it. The goal really is to reduce it year after year, not only by tracking leaks, but also by modifying your behavior. So overall, our solution, how does it work? We offer a real-time meter reading. So every time you're going to install our connected devices, you'll have a real-time data on that consumption, and you're going to be able to consolidate that consumption data. So you can compare your data month to month, year after year, location per location. Some of our clients have different buildings, so similar buildings, for example, as well airports, and they want to know why one airport or one location is using more water than the other one, whereas they're doing the same thing. So it's a great way when you have multiple sites. Also, like for example, we have clients that put new showers in place in their hotels. They want to know how much water they're going to reduce by doing that. They install a solution before changing the showers, and then they calculate the water, and then after changing the showers, they're going to see that there's a reduction or not, and based on that number, maybe they're going to try to change the showers throughout their entire chain of hotels or whatnot. But on top of all that, we also have an intelligent alert system, which is a big part of the solution in the Robeau platform. So the way that works is first we install our connected water meters. After 1 or 2 weeks, we're going to see a trend. Okay, no consumption over the weekend, that much consumption on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. And what we're going to do after those 2 weeks is that we're going to create alerts. And as soon as there's an overconsumption, there's going to be an alert sent either through text message or through email, just notifying you that there's a potential leak, at least an overconsumption. And the idea is to send someone right away to locate and fix the leak. For example, like a lot of the alerts are on weekends when there's not supposed to be any water consumption. So we're going to create an alert there. As soon as we detect the consumption, it means that something is wrong. And we might also set up alerts at night or even during the day. If you're used to consume 200 liters a day and one day you consume 350, then it might be interesting to receive an alert. The goal is to locate leaks, of course, and on top of saving water, because it does add up, even though water is not very expensive today, is to prevent damages. We have many examples of clients that come to us because they took too long to detect a leak. The leak started on the 6th floor, and now it's just when it arrives on the 1st floor and it starts leaking on the ceiling that they realize that there's a leak. Usually you have to close the building, you have to do some reparations. If it's a hotel, you have to close some rooms. So really complicated. It's easier to be notified within an hour that there's a leak than to know multiple days after. And of course, this is a solution that helps you bring awareness. We have different parts of our platform where you can show, for example, we have in offices, we install our solution, we have a dashboard that shows your current consumption compared to the consumption from yesterday. And we've seen that by sending those numbers and by people being aware of how much water they consume, there's already in offices a 10% reduction of consumption just by knowing and then acting accordingly on how much what you can do in order to reduce your water. And of course, it reduces bills, like I've mentioned, by so far since we've been in the business by at least 20%. But depending on the type of installation that we're doing, or the size of the installation, or how the client is using our solution, because it takes we help our client navigate on our platform, but it's up to him also to set up the alerts and to check the different consumption data. And that we can go up to 40 and 50% in water reduction with some of our clients. So in terms of the solution, it's very easy. It's a plug and play solution. It comes in three different ways. So first, we're going to install, or either we install our data loggers. So in that case, the client already has water meters on his premises. And all we do is that if it's a recent water meter, so usually recent, we're talking a water meter that's been installed in the last 10 to 15 years, we don't have to do any plumbing on this. What we're going to do is we're going to install our data logger on top of that existing water meter, and that's going to help calculate the water intake from that meter. That's option number one. That's the best option. There's no plumbing to be done. We send you the data loggers. It takes about 10 minutes to install. Very easy. It's plug and play. No plumbing. Very easy installation. The second option, and that's about 50%, even more than our case, is that there's no existing water meters, or there's not enough water meters throughout the building or throughout the city. In that case, we send you the whole package. So the water meter with the data logger, and all you have to do is, but it takes a little bit of plumbing, so you have to ask a plumber to do it, but you install the whole water meter already connected and ready to be used. The only difference here is that there's plumbing to be done, and that usually is an extra cost that is added up to the overall project. Then the role is to connect those water meters through our data managing platform, and for that we use the LoRa protocol. And then, of course, the end goal, the final idea is to get all that data available. There's no limit to how many people can connect or how many accounts can be created on our platform, and then everyone can enter our platform to track their consumption data. And based on the level of clearance that you have on the platform, you can modify the different alerts on the platform. So in terms of equipment, today we provide a complete connected solution and data loggers. So we are able to connect our technology on every size pipe, from the smallest one to the largest ones. And they are certified for energy billing. So some of our clients, for example, airports, they want to charge their water consumption. Some airports, they're going to have a McDonald's inside, a Burger King, other different shops, and they want each shop to pay for their actual consumption. Our technology is certified for energy billing, so that's something that they can do. In terms of the data loggers, that's we can put them on every brands, on most brands of water meters. So if you have a specific water meter brand in your on your premises, then there's a data logger that goes with it that we will attach to the water meter to collect the data. And the battery life is about 6 years, depending on the amount of connected device that you have. Knowing that with the LoRa technology, there's no limit on how many equipment you can connect. You can connect thousands of devices to one gateway, and this is why we use the LoRa technology. It's this data is sent directly from the water meters to our managing platform, and LoRa stands for long range. And that's very important for what we do, to have a low bandwidth because the data that we collect, sometimes it's underground, sometimes it's very far apart. And the LoRa technology really enables us to cover a wide range of areas, big areas as well. Sometimes we equip cities with our technology thanks to the LoRa connectivity, and we're really able to go underground. Most water pipes are underground, and with that long range, we're able to collect that data. Once the data is collected from those water meters to the LoRa gateway, using the LoRa technology, it is sent from the gateway to our platform using 3G, 4G, and 5G. In terms of the platform, so that's a really interesting and important part of our solution. Every customer has unlimited access to our platform, and this is where he is going to be able to visualize the entire platform. Today is a short presentation. I don't have time to show you in real time the platform, but if you're interested, don't hesitate to send me an email or a message, and I can send you some demo logging, so you can already go into like a demo platform and start to play around and see how it works. But I've taken 4 screenshots from the platform to give you a vague but good idea of how it works. So on the first screenshot, that's a typical week. Each color, it represents one sensor. So here you're going to see that, yes, some locations consume more water than others, but I don't see any untypical behavior. It's pretty normal. Nothing to see here. Good curves, regular consumption. The platform also allows you to combine all of the sensors into one curve. That's a good way to detect leaks. So usually if there's a leak, you're gonna receive an alert, SMS or email, but you can also visually see it when you combine all the different sensors. And if there is a leak, you're gonna see right away that there's gonna be a spike in your consumption, and it's not gonna go down, or it's barely gonna go down. So on that second screenshot, that's what you see. Typical leak detection. So you know that throughout your entire premises, so it could be a building, an airport, a mall, there's a leak. Now the idea is to know where is that leak coming from, what's the location it's coming from. So on the third picture, it's written in French and it's pretty small, but we're gonna go back to the way that each color is going to represent one sensor, and very rapidly we're going to see that, okay, the leak is coming from this location, and then you're going to be able to send your maintenance team on that location to directly fix the leak. So on this typical example, it was in an airport. The leak was coming from the bathroom in gate 3. And on the last picture, that's an hourly analysis. We can collect water consumption every 5 minutes. Usually we do it every hour. We don't need to, unless the client wants it more specifically. Every hour, it's fine. And on our platform, you can also see hour consumption of your water intake. And in this case, we can see that the bathroom at gate 3 was quickly repaired, and by 11 a.m. That same day, the water intake was back to normal and the leak was repaired. So that's overall our presentation, our solution, how it works. Today we have clients in many different sectors. The commercial and service aspect of it, for example, like a lot of them are French. But the ones that you might know, Starbucks, we work with them in the United States. We work with McDonald's and Vinci, which is a French company, but that's worldwide. Whether it's Vinci facilities or with the airports, we also work with them. We also work with cities and utilities, because the LoRa technology enables you to really have a very long range. We can cover big areas, so we work with cities. And of course, industries, because the water intake is very important, and there's strict laws and goals also set up by those different different industries. For example, L'Oreal has a very strict policy in terms of how much water they're consuming, and they need to reduce it year after year. And that's one of our big clients in France. So quickly, because I think I'm running out of time, in terms of to quickly show you a case study, and again, that's information I can send you later on. But that's a case study that we had in France. So the customer's objective was to reduce the water consumption, of course, to identify leaks and to bring awareness within the personnel. So what we did is that the first step is to go on site to see where we're going to install our different devices. If there's already water meters in place, if not, what's the size of the pipe so we can then install our own water meters. If there is an existing water meter, what's the brand so we can add the data loggers. And so we've added 19 smart meters on, for example, the cleaning services, the hot and cold water networks, the offices, the bathroom, every part where there's a big water consumption. And we've installed, because it's a very huge site, we've installed 3 gateways to cover the entire site. Depending on the site, it can be between 1 gateway to maybe 3 or 4, and there's different types of gateways. Some outdoor, some indoor, some with a bigger range than others. It's all going to depend on the size of the project to make sure that you get the right material for the right project. And so after using our solution, so it was installed in February 2021. They were able to save 15% in water and detect about 10 anomalies per year. So that's usually leaks. And of course, they were able to do some preventive maintenance thanks to the data platform, and they were able to fix leaks very rapidly. And usually the clients are pretty happy with the solution because first of all, they're happy that they have a visualization of their water consumption. And that's something that's pretty rare. And once you have that understanding on how much water you're consuming, then you can really change your behavior and act accordingly in order to reduce it. But I think the first step is really to have a very good understanding of your water network and what aspect of your business is consuming the most network. So I think that's it. I'm out of time. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And I will see if there is, I don't think I have any time for questions. I don't see any questions, but I will quickly put my name, my email in the comments if you need to send me anything.
Yeah, that is smart, Johan.
This conversation. Please send me an email and we can continue that conversation.
I have a question for you, Johan, because you manage already a lot of buildings.
Yes.
Do you have also an example where it did go very wrong, but because of your sensors, you are there in an early stage, so you could prevent something, that would have happened, really cost a lot of money on the asset?
Well, I'll give you an example where we were in contact, because we work a lot with L'Oreal in France, with different buildings, and they have the industry part, but they also have their offices and headquarters, and there's many different locations of L'Oreal in France. We're working with 3 of them. 2 of them have installed a solution. One of them was still hesitating. He wasn't sure. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Was the ROI? Is it worth it? And by the time that was back about 8 months ago, by the time that first conversation happened to about 2 months ago, they had a huge leak in their building. The leak went from the 6th floor to the 1st floor. That was the example I've mentioned. And yes, more than $1 million in reparation. They had to close the site as their headquarters in France, so it's a big location. It was very complicated, and the fixing of that building is going to be 1.8 million euros. So that's a typical example where at first it's hard to tell you what's the ROI of our solution, but as soon as you have a problem, then you understand.
You know it. Then you know it.
How we can help you. And with all of our clients, there's not one client in which we haven't detected any leaks. Some of it are going to tell you our building is brand new. We don't have any leaks. Don't worry. Usually there are leaks, and it's better to know right away that it's happening.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you very much, Johan. I think it's an amazing solution. We're going to share this video online, also on YouTube, so to give you more, even more presence. So thank you very much to be with us today and kick off Global PropTech Online about ESGs. And I think we need to talk about this topic way more often, because there is a lot of great solutions like you have out there. So yeah, again, enjoy your day, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you to you, and good day everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.